Hi, everybody. This is Marissa with my dear friend and professional organizer of 16 years, Andrea Brundage. And you can find her at professionalorganizer.com. Andrea, we've got a great topic to talk about. And I love this topic because you've given me hope as a person who is always professionally disorganized. And so it's one of the chapters in Andrea's book. I know you're too humble, so I'll go ahead and promote for you.
Okay, great.
Simplify Your Life. It's brand new, and so you can find it on her website, Andrea's website. But one of the chapters in your book, Andrea, says that you can that getting organized is a project. Yes, it is, but that staying organized is a lifestyle. Elaborate.
That's right. So I am just off of 3 days of organizing and purging my own house.
That's hard to believe because
Isn't
this
it?
house is like picture perfect.
And that's something that I would like to address before we're done. But perfect is not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is comfortable and supportive. And sometimes people think as a professional organizer, oh my gosh, what do you mean you have stuff? Well, if we're progressing
That's
through...
what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah, right. But the thing is, as we go through different chapters in our lives, things change. And the things that we need and want also change. And as we no longer need and want these things, why not pass them on? Why not purge them out of our space and get them to the people who actually can use them?
And Andrea, that's what I'm also hearing is that's why we shouldn't be comparing ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because you're at a different place than mine, obviously. And that the minute we compare, oh my gosh, that's when it gets bad.
It does. And so often the expectation we have for ourselves is really unrealistic, especially if we're busy and we've got family members and a house full of kids. You're not going to live in a Martha Stewart home. And you shouldn't strive for that because there's a lot of stress wrapped around perfection. So we might be struggling from clutter, but we don't want to exchange that stress of the clutter with stress of perfection. We don't want that. We want to find our happy place in the middle.
Exactly.
Yes.
Is there really such a thing as a perfect home?
Not that I've ever been in or lived in, no. There's a model home. You ever go to the model home places?
Yes, and nobody lives in them.
Nobody lives in them. And if you really look at them, you realize that second bedroom only had a twin bed in it. There's no dresser. There's no place for the kids' stuff. But the idea is it gives you the feeling of openness and simplicity. But is that real? Not usually.
Not at all.
When
you go into those model homes, and that's what I have to tell myself because, this is not real, but you can't help but compare. Instead, I sometimes say, oh my gosh, I have got to go home and start organizing and cleaning up my da-da-da-da-da. And then I start to feel discouraged, and then I'm down, and then I start to feel unworthy, that talk.
So what I'd like to suggest is use that as inspiration, but not as what the final project needs to look like for you. If that inspires you, because you like the way it felt when you walked in there, what can you do in your own home to create some space, but not have it look like a model home? That's sterile and it's not real.
Right.
It's not real.
Good. Hang on to that because I just did. So let's go back to your project.
So, we're at a different place in our lives now. We're empty nesters. We used to do a lot of entertaining. We do a lot less entertaining now. So, do I need to have huge casserole dishes and do I need multiples of platters and things like that? Not necessarily. And so as I was going through my own things in my kitchen, I asked myself, when was the last time I used it? And looking forward, when might I ever use these things again? And a lot of things didn't make the cut. The things that did make the cut are the things that bring me joy, make me happy. We talked about a casserole dish. I have one that's painted. It's beautiful. It's from a time when we were in Mexico. It's a perfect size for 2 people to 4 people. That made the cut.
Exactly. Well, just because I'm a visual person, I got to pull out this dish. But you stay there. I will do it. Yeah, I will do it because this is such a beautiful dish. And she actually did this with me, and it really grabbed me much more. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm digging in your.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
See, the host can do these things.
Yeah, sure.
So this is what Andrea was talking about.
Yeah.
So let's go back to this example. You used to have big trays of these.
I had a very large casserole dish that was glass, wasn't decorative like this, just plain, highly functional if you're dealing with a lot of people and you need to make huge amounts of food. I don't need that anymore. We are not doing that kind of entertaining anymore. My second parameter for keeping this particular dish, not only does it make me happy because it reminds me of a really awesome trip to Mexico to a friend's house, but I can use this as a fruit bowl. I can use this for any number of things. And gosh, doesn't that just bring you joy? I mean, I love this thing. I love, which is one of my 4 questions. I love this casserole dish. And so I kept it.
You kept it.
I did.
And so everything else got not thrown out, but because you give them away.
I pass them on.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Pass them on to someone who can use them.
Yep.
But this one you want to use, it has significance.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful to you, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
And that's how you pick and choose.
That's how we pick and choose. Do I love it? And when I ask if you love something in your house or in your space, it's capital LOVE and it's underlined 3 times.
Yes.
It's so important to actually love the things that you use.
That is awesome. Well, let's tell the story about the coffee cups.
Oh.
And I don't know if can we see your drawer of coffee cups? Or is it too far away?
Oh, it's probably too far away.
Okay, well, I'm going to try it anyway because this is so cool. I think I was sharing with you before. I love coffee cups because I love coffee. But my husband's always like, oh my gosh, you have another coffee cup. How many do we need? But I like to purchase things from like travels. And so I was starting to think, how if I do coffee cups? And I thought, no, because I was discouraged by my husband who said I had too many. But Andrea had this great idea. Okay, Andrea, I'm just going to get up here and
hopefully,
again, dig in your drawers.
Hopefully you can see it over there.
Is it this?
That's the one.
Okay. Oh, this one. I'm sorry, that was a spice drawer. Okay, so you guys see her coffee cups. Probably not. But anyway, we get the idea. They're beautiful and they're all different. Andrea, they're the size and shapes and colors, they don't match.
No.
But that's why I love it. And she opened this up and she was the wonderful host that she is. And she said, Marissa, choose your coffee cup that speaks to you. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
But tell me about this, Andrea.
So it's so fun to every day. I always say my coffee cups choose me. And I do a thing called mug shots where I take a picture of my coffee cup and in my different settings. And it's not a stage thing, but it's something that people have resonated with. So my coffee cups pick me. I do have some very particular needs that go into the purchase of a coffee cup. How it feels in my hand, how thick the rim is. I have a lot of ways that coffee cups make it into that cupboard. But with that said, Marissa, I just shared that I did a big purge project, right?
Okay, you did it.
I
just love these coffee cups. I don't want to go sit back down.
I actually purged out several coffee cups that no longer serve me well. Was there anything wrong with them? No. Did it make my coffee taste different? Probably not. But I found that I liked others better than some of those. And so I passed them on, and they're very cool coffee cups, and they're going to go out into the world and serve somebody else better.
That's awesome. And
Yeah,
I chose this one because I like the shape. I like its simplicity.
What does it say?
It says cup of happy.
Is this the cutest little cup?
I love it.
Aww.
But then it even became like a conversation piece. Like we talked about it, and we talked about our love for coffee and why she liked this particular cup for the same reasons that I chose it. You know, and I just thought that was so cool, Andrea.
And luckily, this happens to be this was a gift. So not all gifts are equal when it comes to coffee cups for all the reasons I was just saying. How does it feel in your hand? Is the rim right? This coffee cup was a perfect gift for me. I love it. It makes me happy.
Exactly.
And
And
it
I
works.
used to think that would, like, oh, who has time for, like, I'm spending too much time on the love for these coffee cups. But you just made me believe that it's okay. That's very valid, you know?
If it makes you happy, I don't think I spend a lot of time. I mean, I made the decision to get rid of all the cups that came with my set of dishes because they were boring and plain and I didn't love them. And
I love that.
and I choose to spend a little bit of effort letting my coffee cups make me happy.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, it's a choice.
I love it. Anything else? Oh, hey. Okay, so this is one of the chapters in her book, Simplify Your Life. And Andrea has a new journal out.
I do. Yay! Look how fun this is. So
It matches.
It's a beautiful cover, I have to say. And it is a journal that can be a companion to the book, or it can be a standalone journal. So it's helpful for anyone who wants to set goals, put timelines on them, which is highly helpful, and also do some journaling. The book, Simplify Your Life, it's also 8 Simple Principles to Turn Your Chaos into Calm. It has homework associated with it. So at the end of each chapter are some tasks that challenge you to actually get up and go do some organizing. So I'm hoping to create inspiration, give the tools, but also direction to actually get up and go do something. And so this journal, again, can support that journey.
So
if you wish.
Yeah, give me an example because I'm on the disorganized side. How would you journal that? Like, I'm having a hard time like setting goals on what that might look like. So give me an example.
Okay. So an example is that you have the goal of you want to organize your kitchen. Okay. So what you would do is put the goal as organize my kitchen. You can put a target date. And you can put notes down below if you wish. What you can do then is, like, if you're going back and these things aren't getting done, you need to journal. What's going on? What's getting in your way? Or you actually completed the task. What did you feel like when you were doing that task? How did you feel when you were finished organizing?
Wow.
And so the whole goal of this is to actually get really mindful, which is what organizing your life and simplifying your life is all about, being mindful of what you have and what's not serving you well. So if you want to create an intentional life, you set goals. If you care to, you can add target dates and really think about how you feel when you're in your space.
And we all, I think, can agree that when we've organized something, we feel awesome. We feel empowered, and we want to do it again and again and again. And so, which leads me to this subject. You said, and that's the whole crux of why we're here, that getting organized is a project, but staying organized is a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. That means we're never done. And that goes back to, here I am an organizer, and I had a major purge that I needed to do. So you're never really finished organizing. You might finish a project, but if you're going to maintain and actually adopt a lifestyle of being mindful and organized, it's ongoing. It's kind of like an exercise regimen or an eating program. You have to stay with it in order for it to stay in place.
I just have to ask because some of us are a lot more disorganized than others, almost to the point of maybe it's unhealthy. When do we know our life has become unhealthy by seeing the disorganization in our homes?
I like to take it to the threshold that you walk through. If you walk over the threshold of your home and you don't feel at peace and supported, if you feel stress and you feel tension and you just would rather, stay at work, or you'd rather go shopping, you'd rather be anywhere than home, something's in the way. What is it? if it's our stuff, if it's clutter, if it's things to do, we can take care of those things really easily, and that will support the shift of my home actually supports me.
Wow, say that again, that our homes
Actually,
should
they should support us.
Wow. And we shouldn't be like, oh, don't want to go in there. And that's when we know it's gotten bad.
It's gotten to where it's not functional. It's actually dysfunctional.
Our homes can be dysfunctional.
Absolutely, and you can feel it if you'll just really spend a moment. You don't even have to do it, but sit in your chair and spend a moment thinking about walking over the threshold of your home that you normally enter, and what does it feel like? So when I do this exercise with my classes, sometimes people will share that they felt like they wanted to turn around and run.
Oh,
Or
makes me sad.
It is sad. Some people say, oh my gosh, I love my home. It's my sanctuary. Okay, now it's working, right?
Yeah.
But if we'd rather be at work than at home because of the stuff or the clutter or the tension, that's not working for us.
And that could be layers of psychological reflection right there. We won't go into because I'm sure that's like a whole nother course or topic. But that gets pretty deep, doesn't it?
It does, but again, if you can just spend a couple minutes, just think about what it feels like when you walk into your home. If it doesn't feel warm and cozy, and I like to think of our house like a puppy that's like wags its tail like, oh, you're home, where have you been all day? I want you to walk into your house and be happy to be there.
Okay, so what is the one thing they should do if their home isn't? Like, could you just give us, because I'm sure there's numerous things they can do, but what would be that one step if they went to that boundary and said, okay, I can't be here in my home?
If it relates to clutter, start decluttering. And when we start decluttering, we chunk big projects down into smaller bite-sized pieces. So it needs to be a time-appropriate task, meaning that if you have a half an hour to do a job, a project, that is sufficient to actually start and finish a project. So time-appropriate tasks. So if you have a half an hour, this is not the time to organize your closet. Or the garage.
So that's the problem.
That's the problem. This is the time where you might tackle a junk drawer. Or just go through your refrigerator and get rid of the expired old food. You can do that in a half an hour.
Right.
So what I want you to do is actually start and finish projects, because then what do? We celebrate.
Yes.
And when we can celebrate, we build momentum.
That is so true.
Isn't
Okay,
that fun?
So quick confession.
Yes.
With my daughter, we speak almost every day, so pretty much every day, and they're long conversations. So, when she hears something in the background, she goes, "Okay, Mom, what are you cleaning?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, did you hear that?" But I mean, I can still, because it's one of those where I'm listening to her. When she gets really deep, then I do tend to like, okay, put something down and really listen. But if she's just talking about her day, I'll be cleaning the blinds. Actually, so I actually have jobs created in my mind. Like, okay, if Lindsay calls me today, I'm going to be in the bathtub cleaning the blind. Yeah, is that crazy? Or
Can I just tell you that this is funny.
I know Lindsay's gonna. Mom!
Lindsay knows that you're not engaged at 100%. I mean, she calls you on it, right?
Yeah.
She's like, "Mom, stop cleaning."
Yeah, she'll like. I can hear what are you doing?
Okay, so here's the thing. Dust is going to continue to fall on your blinds.
Right.
The dust will still be there after you get off the phone with her, so you could do that afterwards. What I'd like to do is have more genuine engagement.
Okay.
And maybe you cut the conversation shorter, because we're not having this talk about how come I hear blinds clanging, right? And then you could clean the blinds later. The most important thing, you decide.
Right.
Is it clean blinds or is it connected?
Right. No, that's really good. Oh, that was just like a dagger.
I'm
No,
sorry.
it's good though.
But I need
true.
to be honest and part of simplifying your life is being available when people need you, and
Yeah.
really identifying what really matters.
Exactly. No, that's a good point. So balance. Again, it's just balance and knowing when not to clean and when to listen.
Well, and so often people think that we don't know that they're doing this. I'm telling you, we cannot multitask. There is no way that our brain can do two things at once. The only way we multitask is if the washing machine is doing the laundry while we're talking on the phone. There needs to be a machine involved. We cannot be present
Yeah.
and working on something else. We just can't.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love it. Come back.
Aw.
Andrea's coming back because there's like 7 more chapters that we need to cover. So,
Well, thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
And can we just say my website again real quick?
Absolutely.
It's www.professionalorganizeraz.com. So if any of y'all need help with organization or inspiration on where to get started, I hope you'll reach out.
And the AZ stands for Arizona, for those of you who
Yes.
do not live in Arizona
Yes.
and maybe watching like in the Philippines.
Yes.
So, yes, awesome. But we need this no matter where we live. So, will you come back?
I would love to come back. Thank you for
Promise?
having me.
Okay. Okay, come back like tomorrow to my house.
That's funny.
No, I'm serious.
Your house is so organized.
No.
You should see her pantry. We've talked about her pantry before, I'm
Oh.
pretty sure.
Yeah, but it was sparked by you, actually, because you really made me realize that getting organized is really simple and that I just need to start. Yeah.
Simple is not always easy.
Oh, that's true.
Mhm.
That is so true.
Our dear friend Mallory, that's her line.
Yes.
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 Oh, well, simple isn't always easy.
Right.
But
right.
yet we crave simplicity.
And we can have it.
Yeah. And we can get organized.
Yes.
So, awesome.
Good
Bye,
luck to you guys. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.